Now, a technique you can use when playing this song is the technique known as palm muting. Palm muting is where you take the side of your palm and you place it right on the bridge over the string that you're playing, and it gives the string a muted sound. So without palm muting, it sounds like that. When palm muting, you get that sound. The key here is you want that muted sound, but you still want to hear the pitch of the note. If I go too far forward with my palm, you just get that clicking sound and you can't hear the pitch of the note. So you need to land right on that sweet spot, right there on the bridge, and it's called palm muting, and you can play that throughout this whole song. Okay, moving on to the notes. The first note we're going to play is on the 7th fret of the high E string, and then we're going to go back to the 5th fret and back to the 7th, and from there we're going to go down to the 7th on the B string, then the 7th on the G string, back to the 7th on the B string, and then the open B. And then the second half of that line is exactly the same. 7, 5, 7, and then 7 on B, 7 on G, 7 on B, and open. That's the first line. Moving on to the second line, we're going to play on the high E string, the 7th fret, then the 9th, then the 10th, and then back down to the 9th, up to the 10th. So that part. Then we go back to the 7th, 9th, 7, 9, 5. So 7, 9, 7, 9, 5. And then we play 7, 5, 7, and then we change strings and we play the 7th on the B string and back to 7. So that second line again up to that point, 7, 9, 10, 9, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 5, 7, 5, 7, 7 on the B string and 7 on the E. Then there's a repeat sign, and we go all the way back to the beginning of the song and do the whole thing again. Now, instead of playing that last bar before the repeat sign, we skip that bar and we go to the next bar, which is 7, 5, 7, 9, 10. Moving on to the third line, we go all the way up to the 14th fret of the high E string. We play 14, 12, 14, 10, and then 10 on the B string, back to 10 on the E string, and then down to 11 on the G string. 14, 12, 14, 10, 10 on the B, 10, 11 on the G. Then we repeat that phrase exactly the same. 14, 12, 14, 10, 10 on the B, 10 back on the E, and 11. Moving on to the last line, we go to the 14th fret of the high E, 16, 17, 16, 17, and 14. And then we go 16, 14, 16, 12. And then we play 14, 12, 14, 15 on the B string, and 14 on the E. Then we can see there's a repeat sign, so we go back to the previous repeat sign, which was the start of the third line, and we play the whole thing again. So 14, 12, 14, 10, 10. And then to the last line. Now instead of playing that bar before the repeat sign, we skip that bar and play the very last bar of the song, which is 14, 12, 14, 12, 14. And that's how we play Popcorn.